My name is Sarah, and at 35, my life has been a testament to the art of holding on when everything is trying to pull you apart. My world, my entire universe, revolves around two bright stars. My daughter, Chloe, who is 11 and has her father's thoughtful eyes, and my son, Mason, a whirlwind of 7-year-old energy. Every sacrifice, every long hour, every silent tear, it's all for them. My own childhood was marked by loss. I was just a girl when I lost my mother to an illness that stole her from us piece by piece. A few years later, my father's heart, heavy with grief, simply gave out. I thought I had weathered the worst storms life could throw at me, but I was wrong. I married young, filled with the naive belief in a fairy tale ending. 12 years and 2 beautiful children later, that fairy tale shattered. My husband announced, with the casual indifference of a stranger, that he no longer loved me. He packed a bag and walked out, leaving me with a mortgage and a 2-year-old Mason who still asked for his daddy every night. There were no follow-up calls, no child support checks, no co-parenting. He vanished. From that day forward, it was just the three of us against the world. We live in a small 2-bedroom apartment in a part of Oak Ridge that the city seems to have forgotten. The paint is peeling and the faucet drips a steady rhythm that I've learned to tune out. But it's our sanctuary. It's home. Some months, the threat of an eviction notice looms like a dark cloud. Without a college degree, my employment options have always been a narrow path. But for a mother, quitting is a luxury that doesn't exist. My primary job is as a home health aide. I care for the elderly and the infirm, people in the twilight of their lives. I administer medication, fluff pillows, cook warm meals, and listen to stories of a world that no longer exists. I offer the comfort and dignity that every human being deserves. But compassion doesn't pay all the bills. So I clean. After my nursing shift ends, my second day begins. I clean homes in affluent suburbs and small downtown offices. There's no company, no agency, just me, my bucket of supplies, and a list of addresses. The hours are brutal, often stretching late into the night. I scrub floors until my knees ache, sanitize bathrooms until the smell of bleach clings to my hair, and haul trash bags that feel heavier than my own exhaustion. The work is a lottery of human decency. Some clients are kind, offering a warm smile or a cold drink. Others look right through me, a ghost tidying up their perfect lives. There are those who haggle over a few dollars or forget to pay the full amount. Still, I press on, fueled by the images of Chloe's face bent over her homework and Mason's peaceful, sleeping form. Their needs are my North Star: food on the table, clothes that fit, and the unwavering security of a roof over our heads. Even on days when a fever rages through my body or sorrow settles deep in my bones, I get up and I go to work. My only moment of peace comes late at night, after the kids are finally asleep. I sit by their beds, watching the gentle rise and fall of their chests. I trace the curve of Chloe's cheek, kiss Mason's forehead, and make a silent, desperate promise. One day, my loves, it will be better. I promise. This singular thought is the fuel that gets me through the darkness. Then, one rainy Tuesday night, the darkness swallowed us whole. The rain wasn't just falling, it was a relentless assault, turning the already dim streetlights into blurry, weeping stars. I had just finished a late cleaning job and I was walking the last few blocks home with the kids, our hands linked together. The wind was a bitter, biting thing that cut through our thin jackets. Chloe clutched my right hand, her small frame shivering. Mason held my left. "Mama, I'm so cold," he whimpered, his voice barely a whisper against the storm. I pulled him closer, unwrapping my own worn scarf and looping it around his neck. "Almost home, sweetie. We're almost there." That's when the world exploded in a symphony of light and sound. A blinding glare, the horrific screech of tires on wet asphalt, and then a deafening crash. Everything went black. My first sensation upon waking was the sterile smell of antiseptic and the rhythmic, unnerving beep of a machine next to my head. I stared up at a pale blue ceiling, my mind a fog of confusion. A hospital? Why was I in a hospital? And then a tidal wave of pure, cold panic washed over me. My children, where are my children? I tried to sit up, but a searing pain shot through my leg, and I cried out. A nurse rushed to my side. "It's okay, you're safe," she said in a calm, soothing voice. "My kids," I gasped, tears streaming down my face. "Chloe and Mason, are they—" "They're safe," she assured me, her hand resting gently on my shoulder. "They're okay, just some bumps and bruises. They're waiting to see you." The relief was so profound, it felt like I was collapsing from the inside out. A few minutes later, the door creaked open, and two small figures sprinted into the room. "Mama!" they cried in unison, burying their faces in my side as I hugged them with all the strength I had. Holding them, feeling their warmth and their heartbeats was the only thing that mattered in the entire world. The doctor came in soon after. His expression was grim. "Sarah," he began, his voice low, "you were lucky, but your leg is severely broken. You've sustained a compound fracture. It's going to require surgery, and you'll be off your feet for several weeks." The word rest echoed in my ears. "Rest?" I whispered, the word tasting like ash. "I can't rest. I have to work. The rent is due. My children." He shook his head, his eyes filled with a sad understanding. "Your only job right now is to heal." The blows kept coming. The next day, I learned that the expensive, specialized cleaning equipment I had borrowed from a fellow cleaner was destroyed in the accident. Worse, in the chaos of the crash, my cart had been sent flying, crashing through the plate glass window of a luxury boutique on the corner. The store owner was demanding I pay for the damages. The total amount I owed was $25,000. The number hung in the sterile air, heavy and impossible. $25,000. It wasn't a debt, it was a life sentence. That night, with my children sleeping soundly in cots brought into my room, I buried my face in my pillow and sobbed, a silent, shoulder-shaking grief for a future that now seemed utterly lost. But in the deepest despair, a flicker of light appeared. Unbeknownst to me, a witness at the scene had been a local blogger. Touched by the sight of a mother trying to shield her children, she wrote about our story. She posted a picture she had taken of us huddled together just moments before the accident. The post was shared. Then it was shared again and again until it spread like wildfire across social media. My story, our struggle, the accident, the impossible debt, resonated with people. Messages of support began to pour in. Then small donations started appearing in a fund set up by the blogger. $10, $20, $50. Each one was a small miracle. Then the hospital phone rang. A man with a deep, calm voice spoke. "Is this Sarah?" he asked. "I read your story. I'd like to help." A strange mix of hope and fear fluttered in my chest. "Who is this?" I asked, my voice barely audible. "You'll see soon enough," he replied, and then he hung up. 2 days later, a small group of people walked into my hospital room. They carried bouquets of flowers, bags filled with new warm clothes for the kids, and boxes of hot food. A handsome young man in a simple jacket stepped forward. "My name is David," he said, his smile genuine and kind. "You don't know me, Sarah, but I feel like I know a part of your story, and I'm here to help." Tears welled in my eyes, blurring his face. "Why?" I whispered. "Why would you do this?" He smiled again, a soft, compassionate expression on his face. "My own mother was in a similar position once. She was a single mom, worked 2 jobs, and barely scraped by. Someone gave her a hand up, not a hand out. It changed her life. It changed my life. I'm just passing it on." David and his team took care of everything. They paid the $25,000 debt in full. They covered every last cent of my hospital and surgery bills. I was able to heal without the crushing weight of financial ruin pressing down on me. Weeks later, when I was finally able to walk with a cane, they came to our apartment. "Sarah," David said, "pack a few things for you and the kids. We want to show you something." They drove us to a quiet, tree-lined street in a neighborhood I had only ever cleaned in. They pulled into the driveway of a beautiful blue house with a wide front porch and a big backyard. "This is it," David said, turning off the engine. "It's beautiful," I said, admiring it. He smiled and held out a set of keys. "It's yours." I stared at him, unable to process his words. "What do you mean?" "This house," he said gently, "it's yours. No more rent, no more worrying about eviction. This is a new start for your family." My legs gave out from under me, and I sank to my knees on the sidewalk, overcome with a wave of emotion so powerful I couldn't breathe. Chloe and Mason, sensing the monumental shift in our lives, wrapped their arms around me. For the first time in what felt like a lifetime, we were safe. We were truly, unconditionally free. The kindness didn't stop there. A few months later, as we settled into our new life, David sat with me in our new living room. "What's your dream, Sarah? Not what you need, but what you truly want." I thought for a moment, dredging up a dream I had buried long ago. "I've always wanted to open my own small beauty salon," I confessed, "a place where people could come to feel good about themselves." With his guidance and a small business loan he helped secure, I did it. Sarah's Touch Salon is now a thriving little business in our new community. I am no longer just a survivor, clinging to the wreckage of my life. I am a business owner, a provider, a happy, hopeful woman. David didn't just give us money or a house. He gave us back a belief in the inherent goodness of people. He reminded me that hope is never truly lost, even when it's buried under layers of pain and struggle. My journey started with nothing but a mother's fierce love. Now we have a home, a business, and a future brighter than I ever could have imagined. If you find yourself in a dark place, if the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear, please don't give up. Keep fighting, keep hoping, and keep putting one foot in front of the other. Because you never know when a stranger's kindness will part the clouds and let the sun shine through. Better days are not just a possibility, they are a promise. You just have to keep going long enough to see them.